Hello and welcome to another episode of the Northeast Hoopcast. Today I'm joined by Pingree and Team Sim star Ray Cuevas. Ray, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And let's start off with the season you're having with Team Sims so far. Started off the year with a great tournament at the NERR Hoop Fest. You earned a player of the game there. How does that help you gain confidence and going forwards for Team Sims?
Yeah, it's definitely good to know that our team's starting to gel. Um, and just, I mean, play the game that it's nice to have and for the social media and whatnot. But I mean, it's just good to know that we're winning games. And just it's just fun just getting out there and compete.
Mhm. And then a couple of weeks later, you go up against a tough DTX squad where you had an outstanding 27-point performance, 12 from downtown. Just take me through that game and how you got your shot going.
Yeah, a lot of it came off just reading the pick and roll with one of our bigs who was rolling off the screen well. So I found him a couple times, and they had to respect that. And once they respected that, it gave me a couple pockets to shoot it. So I mean, that's how I really got my shots on the screen roll. Just reading that well.
Yeah, and exactly. Especially as a guard, primary ball handler, that's something that you're going to need to do consistently. And in that game, it showed. Of course,
Hmm.
you were able to knock some threes down and get into the lane using the pick and roll.
Yep.
Then kind of just wrapping up April, you go into Atlantic City. Your stats through 10 games were an impressive 19 per game on 65% shooting from inside the arc, and then 59% from 3-point. Just take me through what that weekend was like for you.
Yeah. It was definitely good to finally travel with the team. We're a new team, so like getting to bond is really big right now. So that was really good to get out and play against some teams wider in a wider sense from a little farther apart. So it was good. I mean, we had a pretty good weekend. Um, but it was really good to see how we started to play with each other and started to learn how each other plays and really just gel. I mean, the stats are good, but I mean, I think that was a tournament where we really turned um really made a really big like jump as a team. So that was definitely good going forward for the next live period that we had.
Yeah, and I believe I saw a tweet somewhere that there was a lot of eyes watching down in Atlantic City. I think I saw somewhere all divisions. There was the Dartmouths, the Paces.
Mhm.
The Pace plays in a very good NE10 for Division
Mhm.
Two, and then a couple of top level D3 teams in Swarthmore and Tufts. And then you obviously the performances, but you also mentioned you were trying to get in the groove as a team, and
Mhm.
those types of scouts get to see you in more of a team setting and have those good performances. But the question I want to ask is there any steps you take before a game if you know there's going to be a lot of eyes on, or you just play your game?
Yeah, I usually before a game I try and just like settle down, get the heart rate down, definitely listen to music, just to relax myself. It's just getting down to a comfortable state is just big before a game. Any game really. I mean, it could be a big game, could be a small game, but I think it's just big to really just calm myself down and just level myself.
Yeah, and it starts from the
Hmm.
mental approach, especially like you said in any game. So just to get your mind right, and
Yeah.
then go out there and do your thing.
Mhm.
And you already mentioned the team chemistry. Let's get into a couple of your teammates. Starting with the Cape Cod guard, the 2025 Tamar Washington. What has it been like to share the backcourt?
Yeah. He's just a dog. He's getting up at everyone's shorts. Guard 94 feet. So it's definitely good to play against a guy that wants to prioritize defense like that. And he'll be good because he's young and he hasn't reclassed yet, and he's looking to go prep. So I think he'll have a good few seasons of prep and really get noticed. Even though he's a smaller guard, but he can really play. And once he puts on some mass, like he'll really be a threat.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, he hasn't even reclassed and he's playing up with you guys already.
Mhm.
That's definitely just going to bode well, especially if he wants to take that route in prep.
Yep.
And then just to have a defensive guy like that, like you said, really
Mhm.
makes it easier for you at times. If you know he's going to go out there and put pressure on the other team's guards. And I
Mhm.
believe, did he hit a game winner? I think I saw something. He hit a game
Yeah,
winner.
that was versus DTX. That was a game. I mean, they were coming for me, so we found the right pass, and he was just running down the floor and made that right read and got the shot off.
That's dope. That's dope. And
Mhm.
um, especially since you hadn't played him with him a lot, that's a big confidence thing playing up that type of guy can get with a game winner like that. And then
Mhm.
you got a couple of NH prep guys on the squad, Tyler Nordstrom and Henry Liu. What type of things do those guys bring to the squad?
Yeah, I think Tyler's like the same boat, just like a scrappy guard. Like he doesn't look that scrappy, but he really like starts it. He'll start the conversation, being loud and really just getting guys in their team antsy. Like I mean, you'll see when you play if you play with him, but he's the one that's always like starting the. He might get a guy chirping at him, but he's always got someone down his back trying to get at him, and he's just always starting that problem, which is big for us. Another guy, Harry, he's just a lights out shooter. I mean, he spaces the floor for us very well. He just knocks down. I mean, he probably shoots like 60% from three. He's a very good shooter. Athletic too. Really rebounds well, and yeah, he's a good piece. He was a good ad for our team this spring and summer.
Yeah, and it seems like Tyler's a guy that you want to have on your team. You don't want to go against the way he
No, exactly.
kind of just
Uh-huh.
tries to get in people's head. And then Harry on the wing, uh, even if he doesn't shoot 60%, it's got to be up there. And
Yep.
you said he gets bored, so an all around guy like that, especially on the wing, just is going to benefit you as a squad. And then
Hmm.
couple more teammates. You got Nate Rubin and Kelvin Danforth. They both go to Lexington Christian. What was it like to play against them and now with them?
Yeah, it was definitely it's very fun to play against them. I mean, we played against them in the NEPSAC semifinal, or not NEPSAC, the league semifinal this past season. It was fun again to play against them, knowing I'll be playing with them in the spring and summer. So just all love in that sense. But Calvin, I mean, he's 6'7", just big dude. Like he's gonna scrap. He's gonna fight for boards, and he's coming off injury. So I mean, we'll see. He's really starting to get back into it. He's getting probably closer to 90%. Um, but yeah, he's just a good big man to have. Really sets big screens to get guys open, and Nate Rubin's knockdown shooter, very good defense off the bench for us. He's just he's just loud. Like he's always the vocal guy on that end, and really sees the floor well. So that's big also.
Yeah, and do you ever talk about those two games you played during the regular season at Pingree?
Yeah, I'll chirp them a little bit. I mean, there's a couple guys from LCA that play in the program, like younger team as well. Um, but yeah, they're always chirping, saying they'll take us next year. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a bit later as well.
Yeah,
And kind of looking forward for Team Sims. What are some tournaments you guys got coming up?
yeah. We have this weekend we're playing ZG Nationals, I think, at local tournaments at Starland. Um, but in July we have like a 5-day stint at Spooky Nook. And then after that we're going to Virginia, which will be good. Hoop group. That'll be a fun tournament. To play with the guys.
Yeah, and are those tournaments that you've participated in before?
Last year I actually played in the Virginia Beach one with a different team. I started playing with Sims in the fall. So I played with another team in Virginia. That was good. It was really good competition out there. It was the same time frame in July. And then I played in Spooky Nook a little bit last year. So definitely familiar with the gyms and whatnot.
Hmm. And when you go to those tournaments in Virginia, it's kind of cool to see some other teams that are not based out of the Northeast, get
Mhm.
different playing styles, different types of players, all that type of stuff. So it only bodes well when you go to those types of places.
Mhm.
And then you mentioned that you played in the fall for Team Sims. You went to the fall brawl. Were able to win that. You had a great game, I believe, in the semifinals. Take me through who you played and what that game was like.
Yeah, I actually don't remember who we played, but I remember in the fall we had a really, really good fall season. I think we won like 3 or 4 tournaments that in that fall, and that was our first time. That was our first time bringing that team together. It was a younger team. Um, I know we had a bunch of guys who were like 2026, 2025, but it was definitely good to really dip my feet in the water and see what this program is about. So yeah, I mean that was definitely one of our better tournaments. I think I had a pretty good uh outing in that semifinal, but I don't really remember exactly the semifinal.
Yeah, does getting that experience, just playing games in the fall, something you don't really get to do usually. Did that give you a lot of confidence headed into Pingree that season?
Yeah, I definitely think like a lot of kids take off fall, which is I think like it's kind of it's not that smart because if you play in the fall, you stay in shape and you're playing you're always playing games, so you're gonna be game ready by the time you get to the season. So I think it's advantageous to play in the fall just to get running, even if you're not playing the best competition. I mean, you're still getting the competition, you're still getting the run in, the conditioning. So I think that was definitely big going into the season.
Yeah, and there's still like a huge difference. Like if you were to not play for Team Sims, you wouldn't get that game time. You could still go in and work out in the gym, but it's doesn't always correlate. Like with Team Sims, you're playing a real game, so you're getting game type shots.
Hmm.
And you're trying to feel it out for the season that you have upcoming.
Exactly.
And then you go into Pingree. It's your first year. Just take me through some of the factors that led you into going to Pingree.
Yeah. Um, I met Coach Gibbs when I was a freshman. He watched me play as a freshman. He watched my first freshman game, had like 27 points, and he never introduced himself, but he still knew about me. And as time went on, like I started to think about the prep world and what I could do. Um, and then we just got in contact from a couple coaches that got us in contact, and we went from there. I mean, it was definitely a spot where I knew I could play, and I knew a bunch of guys there previously from there because they're a bunch of local guys from Boxford near me and a bunch of towns near me, like North Andover. So I knew a couple of the guys already. So I knew it'd be a place where I could seamlessly fit in. So I thought that was really big for my decision.
Hmm. And you got to play in the NEPSAC showcase last summer.
Mhm.
Um, was that like was your main focus just to get adjusted to the NEPSAC type of play?
Yeah, when I was in the showcase, I just wanted to really just go at guys. Like it was definitely good to see that different type of play. Like you said, um, guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and right off the jump, I saw that, and it was just really good to really compete. I mean, I had a few good games, and we didn't have many of our guys from here. We had like I think 6 or 7, but it was just good to compete and see that from the jump what it's like in NEPSAC, and it was definitely a good event.
Yeah, and it's not only you trying to get your feet under you personally, but also playing with some of the guys at Pingree already, and trying to gain chemistry in those games with them. So,
Mhm.
what were some of the guys that were already there that you played with in that showcase?
Yeah, a kid named Jack Murphy was there. He plays for New England Storm. He's a shooter, knockdown shooter, lockdown defense. He's also he's a great piece. He came off the bench for this year, sophomore. Um, he's a spark plug off the bench, really in it. Another kid was named Charlie Lynch, 6'5", like wing. Um, he's really good off the one dribble pull up, shoots it, attacks the rim, and just rebounds. Super athletic. So those are two guys that I knew coming in that I played with. And then there was this guard, smaller guard, about 5'10", football player is good, who played as well. He's just a super athletic guard, and he was good too.
And then you flash forward to the start of the season.
Mhm.
You started off the NEPSAC season with a couple of 20-point games, but what really jumps off the stat sheet to me is that not only were you scoring, but you're also getting rebounds. You're dishing the ball out. You're getting steals defensively. Are the things besides scoring something that you look to do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say everyone could score, so the things that you do outside of that is just how to stand out. So I just try to really be like all around point guard that really dishes the ball out, attacks seams, finds open guys. Um, and it's just something I'm working on is athleticism. So being able to jump up and grab rebounds and push the ball, get it up in transition, and get in passing lanes and get steals is just something that I've really been focusing on these past few years, and I think it's been helpful to make a really complete game instead of just being a score.
Yeah, and having that complete game is going to get you noticed, and also uh, it's going to convert to winning games. You're able
Mhm.
to get the ball and push, get a quick two for your guys, and create possessions out of steals and stuff like that. It's just gonna down the road, it's gonna lead to you guys winning games. And then midway through the season, kind of late in December, you go down to Florida for the KSA tournament. What kind of tournament is that, and how did the boys perform down there?
Yeah, it was a really fun tournament. A couple others were sick, including me, going down. So I mean, we got better with the tournament, but it was definitely a really fun environment to play in. We're in Florida. Um, you have a bus that goes right to Universal. Like it's just right in the center of everything. Um, but yeah, the games were good. We played a team from Kentucky, I think, a team from that was from Florida, I think from Miami. Play a team from we played like we made it all the way to the championship. We played the Pennsylvania state champs from last year, and we had a good game. We didn't play great. I mean, we had good defense. We were really locking down that end, but we just couldn't hit shots, so that was rough. But we lost by like 10 points to them. They were a solid team. Had a couple guys who could really play, but it was just fun to really to just go out and gel with the team, get invested into this, and just see other teams that are also good.
Yeah, and team bonding is important, especially as you're in your first year. And you mentioned obviously you played a team from Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Florida. How does their play style as a team compare to that that you were used to up northeast?
Yeah, I think the play style of the Pennsylvania team is really it's like kind of similar to um, like a scrappy team that you'll see out here. Like I'm not sure an example, but a team that's really just gonna get in your shorts, pick you up 94 feet, not let you touch the ball. They're gonna deny every pass, getting help, cause havoc, be loud. Like that's the type of team that wins championships, and that's the type of team we played um, in down in Florida. So I mean, it was definitely a good game. It was really fun.
Were there any adjustments that you guys had to make to a team like that?
Yeah, one adjustment was just like trying to find ways to get me off the ball because they were picking me up 94 feet face guarding. So I had to find ways to get off the ball and then screen and rescreen and find guys, make reads to get other guys open because they had watched us play a little bit, so they knew who our guys were. So it was just that they were trying to shut me off, so I had to find other ways of impacting the game. Um, so that was definitely the biggest adjustment in that game.
And what's tough, especially when a team is that successful with doing what they do, is that it's going to be incredibly hard to get them off their game and to get them off what they want to do. So
Mhm.
just finding other ways that you can compete and you can get buckets is um, a better option if you're trying to compete with a team like that.
Yep.
And let's flash forward to later on in the season. You were able to get a win against Thayer Academy, which is a class above you guys. Did that mean any extra to the team?
Definitely. That was a huge morale boost. I talked to coach and the team, and they said they don't remember the last time they'd be in Thayer. So I mean, my coach was ecstatic. He gets very very happy when we get wins like that. So I mean, that was definitely a big win for the team, and just to know that we can compete with all these guys that have competed for a title in their leagues. So yeah, I think that was definitely a turning point in the season to know what we can accomplish as a team.
Yeah, and I believe I read somewhere you guys were up as well early, and they kind of fought back, but you guys, stuck to it and were able to ultimately win by, I think it was 4 points, like 61-57, something like that.
Yep.
And a game that came after that, kind of an exciting one against Marianapolis Prep. Take me through
hmm
that final play and how you found your teammate.
Yeah. So I was definitely very angry. I played. It was like 15 seconds left. They brought it down. They set a screen. The kid with the ball faked the screen. He got an edge on me. I slid back in, but he threw a floater over me and got a shot off. They were up. I think it was two. They might have went up two or went up one. So then my immediate instinct, grab the ball, get it out. So I took the ball out and threw it up. Um, or no, sorry. The immediate instinct was to get the ball, so I threw it up. It was like a give and go between me and a guard, and then from there, he gave it back to me. I found Hudson making that cut up the floor. They collapsed on me, and he was just wide open. He made the shot. I mean, that was a huge shot. They were gunning for me from the jump, so I mean, to find him, I think that was big. For him to have the confidence to knock it down was huge.
Yeah, and when I noticed, I watched that play, I think somewhere on Twitter or something. The composure from not only you, it was a tough pass to get across the court, and then he catches it and has like he knew how much time was left, and threw up an up fake, one dribble,
Up
and
fake, yep.
hit the winner. It was quite the shot from him.
hmm
Now let's move on to your EIL league play. We mentioned the Lexington Christians, a couple of guys on that team earlier. They were the defending champs, obviously, from last season. Take me through what it was like to get that win early in the season.
Yeah, that was definitely huge to just set a statement. Gibbs didn't want to lose that game. We didn't want to lose that game. LCA was coming for us, and to just go in their gym and have composure and just get that win was huge. To go towards to get towards that league title.
And then in the second game, it doesn't get any easier. You have to play Beaver Country Day School, and you were able to get that win. Of course, unfortunately, I believe you fouled out with 6 minutes left. Just take me through that game and how were you able to impact the game even after you fouled out?
Yeah, it was definitely rough. I was not happy fouling out in the last 6 minutes. I mean, when that happened, it was just um, I had to impact the game. It just find another way, just being loud, yelling out the defensive schemes, um, just trying to cause a havoc on the bench. But during the game, I mean, I thought we didn't execute great. I think we lost that game in the regular season by one, so that was definitely like a really hard game to play because I know that if I was in that game, that it would have been a different outcome. So just fouling out was definitely it was something that I saw to the rest for the rest of the season. It was just like I can't wait to play these guys again. Like, and then we played them in the league chip and rest history.
Yeah, take me through that championship game.
Yeah. So I actually a couple days before I fell on my wrist and I injured it. So I was playing with like a mild sprain in my right wrist. So I was playing injured, so I couldn't really shoot the ball. I mean, I shot a couple shots, but it hurt like hell. Um, but Hudson Wyman, our QB for Pingree, good basketball player, good shooter, really really elite shooter, really. He had a big game. He had a huge game. He stepped up big because usually I'll take on that load, but he really found a way to really score and help us win um, in a way that I couldn't have that game because I couldn't shoot the ball. I could barely dribble with the right hand. And to just go in their gym after losing to them and play with that confidence was definitely huge. They had a crowd, and we brought a crowd from Pingree, and we I think we had a bigger crowd, and they really got into it, and we got into it, and it was a dogfight until the end, and we pulled away late, and I think Hudson was the key piece in that game.
And it's especially great knowing that your guys have your back, even when you're off your game because of an injury. And
Hmm.
what was really special about that game is not only was it Pingree's first championship in the EIL for since I think it was '09, but it was also the first time that you won in that gym for a pretty good amount of time. So really,
Hmm.
not only for the squad, but program wise, it was just a huge game. Um,
Hmm. Exactly.
that you ended up winning, of course. And then later on after that, you were named EIL MVP, over 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. How does that reflect the season that you had and the work that you put in?
Yeah, I mean, it reflects the time I put in the summer, the time I've put in the past few years. Just it's just good to see. Not only, I mean, we had a lot of team achievements, but it's good to see the work pay off from the off season, and I was definitely happy to see that when my coach called me.
Mhm. For sure. And you were also able to get NEPSAC all team recognitions as well. So kind of in that same boat that work's paying off. You're getting recognition. Of course,
Mhm.
it makes you happy and a bit hungrier to build off of that in the future.
Exactly, only to build.
Only to build exactly. And how is your mentality changing now as you're going into your senior year?
Yeah, definitely. It's just like just staying hungry. Like, I mean, we had a really good season, but there's more we can do. Like, there's more we can accomplish. There's a few games we want back that we know we could have won, but just lost it to silly stuff, just not playing hard, and that's something that we have to live with. But we know that we're gonna come in the season, we're gonna come in every game playing hard and be dialed in. That's just the mentality this year is just dial in and always play hard no matter who you're playing. Because there's some games we should have won that we definitely want back.
Yeah, and you have a chance to get it all started. I believe it's next week at the NEPSAC showcase. What's the emphasis of you and the team going into that?
Hmm. Uh, Definitely just compete. I mean, we're gonna play a couple good teams. I know we're playing LCA, so they're gonna wanna come at us. And Pomfret is also another team. Uh, they're a skilled team. I know a couple guys I've heard of that are on that team. Um, they're gonna be dogs as well. So our emphasis is just I mean it's an opportunity for our guys. There's a couple guys who want to play in college, so there's gonna be some coaches there. So it's gonna be good, really good opportunity to really get seen and show coach what we can do. Get some recognition for Pingree.
Hmm. Hmm. And that Lexington game is going to be like a regular season game in June, so that's got to be
Exactly.
kind of crazy, especially with all those eyes watching you in the squad.
Hmm.
And what are some of those goals? I know you kind of touch base on it, but what are some of those goals that you have coming into next season?
Yeah. Nothing short of regular season champs and league champs. We should have won the regular season, but like I said, that tough loss to Beaver gave them the regular season title. So we definitely want to get that regular season and the league. And we just want to build what we did last year. I mean, we got knocked out first round to Rivers, and that was tough. So we definitely want to work to get a better seeding than the eighth seed, um, and just really compete. See if we can get a couple games. See if we can get that championship. That's our goal, is to get that championship in NEPSAC Class B. Um, that's the big goal.
Yeah, and you absolutely took steps in the right direction with the EIL championship, and then that NEPSAC game you had against Rivers, your first appearance in the playoffs for a little bit of time at Pingree. So
Mhm.
definitely steps in the right direction, and excited to see what you guys do next season. And kind of getting into some personal questions, you were able to hit the 1,000 point mark pretty early this season. Well, when you were down in Florida, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I always walked into a gym and looked at the 1,000 point scores and talked to coaches and about how they scored 1,000. So it was always in the back of my mind of something I definitely wanted to get under my belt. So just to be able to do that in Florida with my parents there watching, it was good. It was good. It was fun. Just shows that like I said, the work was paying off and it all was for something. So yeah, it was really good to see.
Yeah, and it might be the coolest thing that you get to be up on the wall on that banner with a bunch of other skilled players at the school forever, and
Hmm.
kids are gonna look up to you, and the more people that get to into that gym, the more are gonna look up and see your name on that 1,000 point banner. So that's one of the cooler things when you get to that milestone, that it's gonna stay up there forever.
Exactly.
And as you move into your senior year, do you have any personal goals that you want to achieve?
Yeah, I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking 2,000. I think it's possible. We'll see. Um, but I definitely want to just keep being efficient with the percentages and taking good shots. So, but I'm hoping to get my points, assists, and rebounds up. I definitely want to find more spots where I can crash and be able to get rebounds and then find guys running so I can get easy transition buckets. But also just have more, like, there's some goals that aren't on the stat sheet, like just finding more spots to just find the hustle plays, the plays that matter, just things that don't get uh put on the stat sheet, just finding edges and spots where I can just improve and help the team win.
Yeah, make those, like mentioned earlier, those winning plays that get your guys extra possessions and get the guys going momentum wise. And
Exactly.
you were so consistent, not only in scoring, but you would do those things that you just talked about. How much of that is a mental approach just to stay consistent throughout the season?
Yeah, it's I mean, basketball is, some say it's like 80% mental, 20% physical. So I mean, just really just staying laser focused and just not thinking about the end goal, but just staying level is definitely big. Is just really seeing what's in front of you and not looking too far in advance, I think was really big. So sometimes I would start thinking too big, but I had to level myself and just really think about what's in front of me.
Hmm. Yeah, and I definitely am one to agree with that. Basketball is a whole lot of mental stuff.
Mm.
It's so hard to, just come in and game out, game in and game out, and play the same way and adapt to things that you might see along the way. I talk so much about the performances you've had for Team Sims and Pingree. How would you describe your game, just from a generic standpoint?
Yeah. I think one of my best traits is just my vision. So I'm really a combo guard, but I like to get into gaps and just be able to create for other people. So I think I can score. I'm definitely a score first, but when I don't have the shot, I can definitely find um, guys who are cutting or who are open on the three. But just like a combo crafty guard uh, that really breaks down defenders and just shoots from deep, stretches the floor. Um, and can play off the ball as well.
Yeah.
And on the defensive end, just breaking guys down and trying to get into passing lanes as well.
And I obviously have just been watching your highlight reels over the past couple of days, and something that I've noticed and that you obviously mentioned is I do think your court vision is an underrated aspect of your game. You are able to find a lot of open guys, but I think what you do really well is creativity. You can create your own shot off the bounce, yes, but you can do it in creative ways that a lot of defenders, don't see coming. Couple of shots that I've seen, you go behind the back first, or you're driving to the lane, and then you have a creative kind of a runner that you do off 1 foot that I've seen, and it's not something you see that's like a common thing. And then another thing that I noticed is your athleticism. You're a 6'2" guard, obviously, primary ball handler, but you can get up there. I saw numerous blocks where you're pretty much touching the middle of the middle of the white square. It's kind of crazy to me. It just jumps out at you. And a couple, obviously, dunks in transition I've seen a lot of. And then, your ability to get by a guy and then you're kind of just full head of steam to the rim. I know there's a highlight of you in the fall. You just cross over, leave one guy in the dust. A couple of guys collapse, but you're not scared to just go up and punch it. So definitely jumps off the page to me is your athleticism. And then, like I said, your vision and your creativity, getting your own shot, that type of stuff, at least from what I've seen. And kind of before your Pingree days, you went to Ipswich, which is kind of high school where you're from. Talk to me about your time there, maybe a couple of your favorite performances.
Yeah, Ipswich is just a small town. Like our team, I had a good sophomore. We had a good sophomore year where we were finally positive. We went 6-5 with a short season. Um, but freshman year was rough. I mean, we were I think 4-16. I was starting as a freshman, and my favorite game from them was just probably my first game when I think I had 27. I went 7 for 7 from three. Should have went 8 for 8, but they called a travel on one of them. But yeah, it was just fun to just like shock people and be like, this kid's a freshman, he's starting. Oh, and he can play. It was big. Um, my junior year was probably my best year at Pingree, but it was also we weren't that deep, so it was also a rough season. I think it was 7-13, but I mean those guys are great. Like they work hard, but we just didn't have a lot of basketball players. It was more just a bunch of athletes, but it was definitely a fun group of guys to play with and to get to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how do you look at yourself now and compare that to your years at Pingree? How has your game improved? How has your body gotten stronger?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just getting stronger. I remember when I was a junior at Ipswich and going to these showcases, I would talk to coaches and they would just keep telling me like, you got to get stronger, you got to get more athletic, you got to do this, you got to do that. And it's just like I took that so to heart. And my dad and we just got in the gym and just started lifting a lot and really getting stronger, speed work, conditioning, all that. Just, I mean, we were doing that before, but it was just like an emphasis and just really pushing in the weight room and in the strength area. So that's definitely been a huge addition these past few years. And also just sharpening my skills and getting more creative, keeping the defense guessing, and yeah, it's two big things.
Mhm. And yeah, I noticed on your Instagram that you got a shout out from the New England Playmakers, and I believe you've been going and kind of helping out some kids, coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, in the spring it was like they have a program, and I found why not give back to the kids a little bit. So I just thought just work out with them and teach them skill work, simple stuff like ball handling, shooting, and it's just fun to see the kids. And they're just fun to play around with and just teach them like how to shoot. I mean they're really young, so it's just like how to shoot, how to dribble, how to use your left hand, use your right hand. It's just it was natural. It was fun.
Yeah, and do you take like your coaching onto the court? Like, how does your coaching those kids translate to your leadership on the court?
Yeah, it's just teaching is just a big. It really helps translate in that sense because you're helping someone else. So when you get on the court, it's like you have the same mindset. You want to help this team. So I think it was big just to be vocal because with these kids, you have to be vocal. You have to make sure they're doing the right thing and make sure they're not goofing around. So I mean, just that vocal piece is big because it translates in so many different ways on the court. Whether I'm trying to get guys to do certain things or just being loud just to get the guys going.
Mhm. Yeah, and definitely goes a long way. Especially, it feels good when you've spent so much time on your own game, just being able to, push that off to other people. And
Hmm.
that's what I like. That's what a lot of people like about coaching after they play
Hmm.
basketball.
Yeah.
And now let's get into what kind of an off season looks like for you. Is there any like personal trainers or groups you've worked with in the past?
Yeah, I have a trainer, Tony Gallo. He played at Coppin State for 2 years after playing JUCO and a couple. I think he played at a D2 school and before that, but he played JUCO in like Cali. Then went and played at Coppin State for 2 years. Had 2 great years. Played pro overseas. Like this guy's the real deal. He knows his stuff. 5'10", scrappy guard. Uh, he was he's still nice, but he was nice back in when you played competitively a lot. But I work out with him um, at least twice a week right now. But in the summer, I just finished school, so I'll be in the gym with him at least 3 times a week, um, just working out. He's super skill oriented, so he'll get me right with the skills. And then, like I said, with the athleticism stuff, I'll do with my dad. We'll go to the track. We'll swim when for recovery. Um, we'll do some lifting. A lot of like sprints and all that is definitely big right now. And just maintaining muscle before the season.
Yeah, and what does an off season workout look like for you in terms of things like intensity and do you like a special emphasis, whether it be in the on the court or in the weight room?
Yeah, I definitely have emphasis in the weight room and the strength area because I have much more time. And it's just because in the season it'll be more of like maintenance lifts. So I'm keep my body sturdy, so I'm not getting injuries. But in the summer, I can really go hard and really abuse my body almost to to the point where I'm gaining. And it's on the court. It's full speed. Whether it's just a shot workout or a skill workout, I'm definitely there's a time where I can go full speed without worrying about I have to play LCA this week or I have to play Beaver this week. It's just knowing that I can go all in. It's good.
And it's incredibly important to go all out and to simulate those types of game situations, game speed, all that type of stuff, especially when you're on the court. And strength, obviously, something that you obviously need to have, but
Mhm.
at least I noticed in your jump from itch switch to Pingree, it seemed like vertical wise, leg strength wise, you had made that jump and continue to build off of that. And
Mhm.
kind of like the getting into pickup games that you would play in the summer. I know you're part of Spence's summer runs. Just talk through the environment of that and how playing against some higher level guys helps you in your game.
Yeah, I mean Spence has hundreds of pros coming in, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. But these guys, I mean, high level guys go to Duke, all these high level schools. He's got coming through just to run. It's just the more I'm around Spence and the run, it's just I realize like it's just these guys are having fun. Like it's a really good time. Like everyone's going at each other. And it's just super competitive at these runs. Guys are taking plays off. Like guys are getting up in each other's shorts and hustling, and it's a good environment to see to play against these guys that are such high level to really elevate my game as well.
Yeah, is there any guys you've played with or guys you've played against that you really clicked with or were just going at?
Um, a guy that I was going at in the first round was Trevor. We had a couple buckets back and forth. Um, he's good. I think he's going to Yale. He's super. Like I know I had played against him a couple of times, but at the run I really got to guard him and see how he plays. And it's so fun to play against a guy like him because you're working on your defense and like playing against a guy like that. You're gonna work on your defense. You can't take a play off because he's gonna shoot it from anywhere. So it was definitely fun to play against him.
Yeah, and it's great for you no matter if he lights you up or not, or you guys are trading buckets because you get to see what it's like to play against a guy that is at the next level, like in person, like you're actually doing it. And that's
Mhm.
kind of like a rare occurrence. It's not going to happen for you a whole lot. And then of course, like you said, the environment, it's all love. So you could go and text Trevor, like, and he can give you tips whenever and that type of stuff. So it's a
Mhm.
really dope thing that he's got going on down there in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
And then, is there going to be any times besides the NEPSAC showcase where you get together with some Pingree guys and try to get some runs going?
Yeah, we plan to start like a local summer league, so that'll go on for a good majority of the summer. Like once a week we'll have a game, and it's just good to stay in contact with the guys and to just get with them a couple times a week. Whether we're just like in the gym practicing for a day and then going to uh the game. That'll definitely be good to keep in touch and stay playing with each other.
Yeah, and it'll be good to play, obviously, like you said, play together as you try to build off some of the things that we talked about earlier. And
Mhm.
as we start to wrap things up, I ask this to everybody that joins the show, but what are some things the audience can expect from Ray Cuevas going forward?
Yeah, definitely you'll see my name growing hopefully. These next few weekends and the live periods will definitely be big to just show people what I can do on the court. I think a big thing is just I've always played with a chip on my shoulder and um, to hopefully see that people will start recognizing the work I've put in and um, how much better I've gotten over the past few years. Um, and even since I started really working out in sixth grade with Tony Gallo. But yeah, I think it'll just be you'll see an upward trend these next few months.
Yeah, and I'll definitely be keeping an eye out as you finish up with Team Sims here in the spring and summer, and then you get into Pingree ball starting this summer, of course, and then definitely during the season in the winter time. So, best of luck to you, Ray, and again, thanks for joining the show. And make sure you stick around for more content from Northeast Hoopcast.
Thank you for having me.